We are on the road to the final, people. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel today. My name is the Crimson Wolf and welcome back to the Blue Review for our first game of the group stage in the UEFA Conference League versus Gent. First, quick disclaimer, if you did not see my community post before the game, very much apologies, I was unable to make the countdown for this game because, as I mentioned in that post, I've been just completely swamped with college work. Like, I have had so much to do, and still do, to be fair. Priority was making sure I got that done. So, unfortunately, I was unable to do that. But I'm here now, on the back of that. Pretty good game. Pretty good game. Never felt like we were going to lose it. We never felt in any danger of losing this game, watching it. We always felt in control. Couple lapses of judgment in the game for the 2 goals, but other than that, I think we largely controlled the game. We've never felt in any danger. If you're new to the channel around here, allow me to give you a quick overview of the Blue Review. Basically, I go through 8 points from the game, Lampard's famous 8, as I like to call it, and give them all a different colour card based on whether I think it was a good, mid, or bad performance. So that would be red, yellow, and blue, respectively. So without further ado, I will move into my first card of the review, and it is a yellow card for Benoit Badiashile. This guy is making me exceedingly more nervous. As long as he plays this level of opposition, so Gent and whatever we come up against in the cup, he should be okay. But he keeps making me very nervous, specifically off the ball, really. His on the ball work today was actually quite solid. I was quite impressed with that because I thought he was relatively calm on the ball. Off the ball, he makes me concerned. An even bigger concern for me if he has to come into the Premier League squad should Levi Colwill get injured. That is a terrifying thought. I'm still not completely confident with Badiashile. He's turning into the Edouard Mendy of centre-backs, which is that he had a purple patch and then completely fell off after that. I just think his confidence gone. I just think it's actually gone. If Badiashile has to come into the Prem squad at some point, that's going to terrify the hell out of me. A, because we're losing Levi Colwill, who is easily our best centre-back right now, and one of the best in the league for that matter. And B, because while Badiashile's getting away with mistakes he's making, albeit minor mistakes and against minor opposition, he makes a mistake of a bigger magnitude against a Prem side. We're going to get punished for that. With any luck, he turns it around, but the way he's going, I can't see it turning around, to be perfectly honest. The second yellow card, and this is harsh, but I think it's justifiably harsh, and it is for Christopher Nkunku. Now, yes, straight off the bat, he got a goal. Very good goal as well, by the way. Just ran onto it, put his foot right through it, and it ends up in the back of the net off the keeper. But other than that, or at the very least, for the entirety of the game before that, Nkunku is largely abject. Like, he couldn't get in the game. And I think this does stem from the fact that Nkunku is not a conventional striker. He is a number 10. I don't think he suits the striker role necessarily. Now, I know his best moments of the season so far, the goal versus Bournemouth and his hat-trick versus Barrow, have come when he's a striker. For Barrow, it's Barrow. If he didn't score in that game from the striking position, I'd be very concerned. The fact he scored a hat-trick, just even more impressive. And then the Bournemouth game, yes, he was in the striker position, but it wasn't really, it didn't really have anything to do with the position. It just had to do with Nkunku himself, which was his ability to hold off the players and his quality finishing. I don't think he's necessarily suited to playing the striker. He doesn't have the skill set necessarily to lead the line properly for me. So I think he struggled a lot today. As I mentioned, very, very good goal. Just put his foot straight through it and it ends up in the back of the net off of pure power alone. Playing him at striker is not my favourite decision. He is the reason why I always wanted Cole Palmer to play on the right, because I wanted him in the number 10, because I think that suits him perfectly. Obviously, right now, Cole Palmer is the best player on the planet, so he plays wherever the hell he wants. Very harsh to give him a yellow card, yes, but right now, as I said, I don't think he really brought his influence on the game for the majority of it until the goal, really. Those are the only 2 yellow cards. So moving into the first blue card, and it is for Axel Disasi. I thought Disasi was actually quite good today. He came into the side as captain. I agree that out of the players on the pitch, he is probably the best choice for captain. He was Monaco's vice captain. while he was with them. He's one of the more senior players in the squad, obviously being 25 years old and senior in the fact that he's been here longer than a lot of them. My impression for the two players that would probably be captain in that squad are him and Tosin, both being similar ages. Tosin is, I think, 27, Dizazi's 25, 26, but because of Dizazi's club seniority and his previous experience as captain, he's the one that's been given it. He did a good job today, Dizazi. And playing a right back, I thought he was actually quite decent. There were a few moments in the game when I thought he was getting a bit outpaced, and he looked a bit poor from that. There were no real problems. He did stop what would probably have been a surefire goal when that cross came flying into the box and he had the player right behind him and he just put it out for the corner. So good on him for that. He was very unlucky not to score as well. Like, I don't understand how he's not scored that. Like, that's so unlucky for him. So I feel bad for him for that. Wouldn't particularly like to see him playing right back consistently. I do want to see more of Josh. We've only seen Josh once this season, which was off the bench versus Barrow. Admittedly, I wasn't too impressed with him in that game. If you've seen my review, you'll know that. I wasn't too impressed with Josh in that game. I thought he was a bit lackadaisical. We've seen Tyreek George coming off the bench. He came off the bench today. So I'd like to see Josh do the same. Josh actually has more experience than Tyreek George. Josh was on the bench a couple times under Pochettino. It actually came off the bench versus Spurs. So I'd like to see a bit more from Josh. But as for Dizazi, not bad today, which I would say also applies to Mykhailo Mudryk. Mudryk had a pretty solid game, obviously got the assist for Renato Veiga's goal, and overall, these are the kind of games that really do suit Mudryk. His link up with Veiga and with Dewsbury Hall as well on that side of the pitch was really, really good. We've heard the rumours with Mudryk, whether he could be loaned out in January. Obviously, we know Marseille, where Roberto De Zerbi is currently. Right now, I can't see him going anywhere because he is performing in these cup games, and there is potential for him to always come off the bench in a Prem game, which you never know. We'll find out with Mudryk. Moving into the third blue card, and it is for João Felix. I'm gonna be honest, it wasn't the most productive game for Felix in terms of like numbers or anything. Like no goals. Don't believe he got an assist either. To highlight with Felix was just what he was doing on the pitch, which just so many things. Like, he was linking up with Nkunku quite well. He was linking up with everybody around him, with whether it was Neto, Dewsbury Hall. I just thought he was a bit the metronome. That's the thing I've always said with Felix. His position is kind of that of the metronome, which is that he's the one that keeps things ticking over. He plays Palmer's position. Obviously, he's not Palmer because he doesn't carry the same threat going forward as Palmer is. No disrespect to Felix, he's a fantastic player. I thought it was just a good game from Felix. Like, it was nothing spectacular, but I just thought he deserved a mention because I thought he went a bit under the radar, and I thought he got on with his job and he did it well. And there's something the commentary mentioned, which I actually quite like, which is that whenever he takes a touch, he makes sure to take it away from the defender, which obviously reduces the chance of him getting it taken off of him, which I actually really do like, and that's something that we can utilize. Good game for him today, Felix. Nothing, as I say, nothing spectacular, but it was good. Our next blue card is for Kiernan Dewsbury Hall, who obviously got his first Chelsea goal tonight. Pretty good goal as well, on the back of Christopher Nkunku running up the pitch. Didn't quite manage to get the shot away. It fell to Dewsbury Hall, and he puts his left foot through it, and it comes off the keeper a bit and ends up in the back of the net. Really good moment for him. Hopefully more to come. I thought he did play really well. Kieran Dewsbury Hall is definitely the best game he's played for Chelsea. His ball progression and his ball carrying today was really, really good, and he was connecting the defense and the attack quite well. So I thought he was really good today, Kiernan Dewsbury Hall. Shout out to Cesare Casadei, by the way. I haven't actually included Casadei in this. I probably should have in hindsight, but I haven't included him. He had a really good performance. I'm not sure about the long-term capabilities of Casadei as a deep lying midfielder, as that more number 6 kind of thing. It only really works, and it works in these games specifically, which I do really like Maresca for noticing that, because Casadei is massive. He's 6'3", and he's just a big bloke in general. That's the only reason it really works, because he's powerful. There is just two problems with it. One, against a more technical opposition, so one that isn't just relying on power, is relying on proper technique. I think he'd get exposed doing that, so it's not a long-term solution, really. And the other thing, I do think it's a waste of his skill set a little bit, because his skill set is more of a number 8, more of a box-to-box goal-scoring number 8. Back on Dewsbury Hall, just a really good game from Dewsbury Hall. I really like what he was doing, just linking up with all the players on the pitch. Obviously, as I say, got his first goal. Really happy for him on that. I hope I really do hope Kiernan Dewsbury Hall has a good career. I know a lot of people have been questioning Dewsbury Hall a little bit. He is really like the red herring signing that we made. Like, it was a bit of this one's a bit odd. He's starting to show how important he is, and the thing he always really does. He always tries to play the through ball for players to run onto. And for players like Mudryk, that's like getting a gift from God. With Mudryk's pace, him being able to run onto it just means that he's going to get there first every time. With Dewsbury Hall supplying him with that, it'll allow him to do what he does best, which is just beat players by completely roasting them for pace. So I think Dewsbury Hall is a very important part of that. Yeah, I really like what I saw from Dewsbury Hall today. He looks like he is getting better. He's growing into it more. The penultimate blue card is going to Pedro Neto. Obviously, he scored very, very good goal off the assist for Dizazi. I forgot to mention that earlier, actually. Really good ball from Dizazi for the assist for Neto. It's a really good finish as well. On his weaker right foot into just the roof of the net. So it's a really good goal from Neto. And this is something we needed to start discussing, which is that out of everybody in this sort of B squad of players, Neto currently has the biggest claim to get into the starting spot. Madueke's spot, we thought was a bit sewn up after the Wolves game. While he's not been bad by any stretch of the imagination, he has started to slip a little bit. And if he's not careful, if Neto keeps playing this well, he could have his spot. Their job is the same, the outcome is slightly different. Whereas Madueke is usually the type to try and beat his man and then cut in on his left foot and score. Neto is usually going to be the one that can do that when necessary, but is more likely going to be the one that runs to the byline and then crosses the ball into the box. It's something we could possibly benefit from more in certain games. It'll be quite interesting to see Neto and Madueke battle it out over that right wing spot. Very good game from Neto. Really, really pleased with him. And the final blue card of the review goes to, probably right now has to be our most successful signing of the summer, Renato Veiga. This guy is an absolute monster. He is a beast. First of all, the goal is spectacular. It's a really good cross from Mudryk, and Veiga catches the header perfectly to just head it into the far bottom corner to get his first goal. Really like that from Veiga. And just overall, he was just all over the pitch. He was linking up with Dewsbury Hall and Mudryk really well. That left side of ours was really good tonight. But yeah, Veiga was really good tonight. And you just know defensively he's solid because nothing's getting through him. He's 6'3" and just a massive bloke in general. I literally call him Stamford Bridge's resident brick shithouse because he's just massive. He's so unlucky that our starting left back is possibly the best left back on the continent right now, if not the world. Because if we didn't have Cucurella, I think Veiga would genuinely start for us. I mean, that gives him something to strive for. If he becomes better than Cucurella is now, more power to him, and he becomes one of the best left backs on the planet. Yeah, Veiga's really, really good. I really like him. I have to discuss the price we pay for him, because we paid, what, something around the region of 14 million for him or something like that, which is an absolute steal. If you didn't know, we were trying to sign Riccardo Calafiori from Bologna. We were in competition with Arsenal for it. And basically we looked at it and said, I think what we looked at it and said was, because Calafiori signed from Basel, we looked at it and said, okay, who are Bologna gonna sign when Calafiori gets sold? And by all accounts, it was going to be Renato Veiga. So we just basically went and said, oh, okay, instead of paying the big bucks for Calafiori, let's go and sign Veiga. And we did. We signed Veiga from Basel for 14 million. And then Calafiori went to Arsenal. And honestly, I have zero regrets about that. Calafiori is a really good player and he will probably do very well for Arsenal. But we paid probably less than half of what they did for Calafiori. Veiga genuinely might be just as good, if not better than Calafiori. Easily man of the match tonight. He's easily man of the match. He did technically get an assist for Nkunku. He had very little to do with that goal, to be fair. Like, he just basically picked the ball, slightly tapped it to Nkunku, and Nkunku ran onto it and thumped it in the back of the net. Overall, from this game, it was just nice, really, wasn't it? Like, we never felt like we were going to lose. We always felt like we were in control of the game. A couple moments of madness for the two goals. Bit unorganised at the back for that, so we do need to iron that out a little bit. But other than that, I have zero complaints about this game, and we move on to our next Conference League game, which I believe is away to Panathinaikos. So that'll be interesting. So with that being said, I will end this episode of the Blue Review there. Thank you all very much for watching. Please leave your comments down below on your thoughts on this game as well. And I hope you all enjoyed. So with that being said, my name is the Crimson Wolf. I am the reddest Chelsea fan on the internet, and you have all been amazing. So I will see you in the next one. Good luck with it.